Okay, so this is EndeavourOS, and I'm going to install it, and I'm using nothing but terminal commands, FFMPEG primarily, to record the audio and the video, instead of trying to install one and make a workaround for that. So let's just find the installer. Let's see, where would it be? Welcome. There we go. Picked up the internet connection. I'm going to update the mirrors, the simple arch reflector. And I'm also going to select Canada, maybe if I can find it, as well as the United States. And we're going to rate them for the last 20. Now it's going to go online and do the mirrors. I would recommend you do this as well. That one failed, bunch of failures. There we go, maybe. Yep. So we're going to save that to our pacman.conf. And we're going to update the EndeavourOS mirrors. This shouldn't take too long. Got a big glare behind me over there. Got my curtains open. Doing this impromptu. Offline, continuing. There we go. Press enter to close that window. Alright. Now, they also provide a couple partitioning tools. The KDE Partition Manager or the Gparted. So I'm going to open that up. GTK Toolkit. This will show us our disk layout, and I'm going to keep it exactly the way it is. I'm going to manage flags, and it's on boot ESI. Swap, that one's already got the flag. And let's format this to ext4 and apply. And now we should have our three partitions, our UEFI system partition or boot partition, a swap space of 8 gigs, and then a root directory of 103.29 gigs. So I'm going to say OK. Now we'll start the installer. I can minimize that. Now here's a very important choice. Online, choose the installation method. Online method lets you choose your desktop. Internet connection is required, and after the installed system will be up to date. The offline method will give you a KDE desktop, which is I think what we're looking at here. The internet connection is not needed. After the install, updating the system is recommended. Personally, if you've gotten this far installing Linux, you probably know about desktops. I'm going to say online because I don't want the Plasma desktop. It's starting the Calamaris installer. Okay, EndeavourOS. They correctly selected American English for me. Here's the drop down arrow. Select your language. And we're going to say next. America, Chicago. That is the correct time zone for me. Again, select your region and your time zone. Say next. Now here's a keyboard. I always recommend a test of some sort. Here I got regular letters and numbers and special signs, so that's good. Now here's your desktop. We can actually say no desktop. If you're an experienced user and you want to install something else that's not included here, then you can clearly click that and say next. You can do the Plasma KDE, which is what we got now. GNOME desktop, which is probably the most popular desktop. Xfce 4, which is what I'm going to select. Cinnamon, that would have been on your Linux Mint that we went through on the install recently. Mate, another desktop altogether, and it tells you some about these. So select them. In my case, I'm going to select In my case, I'm going to select Xfce 4. And I'm going to say next. But you can take your time and go through these and maybe go to another computer or your phone and look them up. But I'm assuming by the time you've made it this far, you probably know what desktop you're looking for. All right, here's some extra applications that we can get. The LTS kernel, long-term support kernel. This is the regular Linux kernel we're going to get. If you're interested in printing, you can go ahead and install your printing support for a HP printer and scanner as well. The Xfce desktop. If there's something in here that you don't want, like unselect to install vanilla, which means this is EndeavourOS settings. So if I untick that, I'm going to get more of a vanilla Xfce desktop, I believe. In fact, let's see what's all under that category. GK themes, click, icons. I'm going to leave that ticked because I can take those out if I don't like them. And when I'm through here, it comes with a firewall. If you don't want a firewall, take it out. It comes with Firefox. If you don't want Firefox, take it out, etc. You got some Endeavour applications. Like I said, go through this and get what you want. Here, I'm pretty much accepting the default. I'm going to say next. Here you got an option for how you want your system to start. Do you want it to start with the older Grub bootloader, Grand Unified Bootloader, which is the long-standing bootloader for Linux, or System Deboot, which is highlighted by default, provides a simple experience which will work for most circumstances. This is the default option for EndeavourOS. So I'm going to leave it at that. Grub is what I would normally select, but this is the default, and I'm going to leave it at that. Alright, so here we're going to replace a partition. You also have the option to install alongside. If you're on a larger hard drive and you've already got a system installed, you can install this alongside of it. Here you can also make sure that if you want ext4 or btrfs, you can select those here, but here we're going to keep with the ext4, and you can see the hard drive is exactly the way we set it up in Gparted. So when you're comfortable here, just click next. Now you don't have to do anything. When you get this far right here and you make sure your hard drive is right here, you can just say erase disk and it'll just install. But I'm not going to do that. EFI system partition you'll see right here is SDA1. That's the color in blue right there. So now I can click next. Alright, now we're going to get your name. My name is Dennis. You put in whatever name you want your computer to be. And make sure you get a good password. Repeat your password to confirm it. Optionally, you can log in automatically without asking for a password. Most people that's coming from Windows, in their home usage, that's probably what they're going to select. But in this case, I'm not going to select that. We're going to use a password to log in. Here we got use the same password for the administrator account or the root account. In Windows, you have an administrator account, and this right here sets that up, and you use the same password for it. So I'm going to say next, and here's a summary of everything it's going to do. We just went through all of this. I'm going to say install now. It was basically warning me that any information that was on the disk previous to this is going to be gone. So I'm probably just going to pause the video right here and continue on. So the installation has not got finished, obviously, but I was going to say a lot of this is going to be based on your internet speed connection. And you can see right now it's installing the base system. However, it's already reached out and grabbing any updates since this ISO appeared or was first put out, which I think was in April the 20th. 420. Okay, so we are making some progress. We're installing all the packages that we saw it was going to install and either selected or deselected. I think this is a debug, yeah, where you can actually see, if you click right here, it'll show you what it's actually doing. Right now it says it's retrieving packages, so it's reaching out those mirrors that we reloaded or refreshed and pulling in packages. Sometimes it's pretty interesting to see XDG user diars. That's for like the home folder, music, documents, etc. XDG utils, library input, graphics drivers, a battery plug-in, date time, net load plug-in. Nice. I use that. Process is running in the background. So it retrieved the packages apparently, and now it's installing them. Oh, did I see Yay? Yep, EndeavourOS. It's installing Yay, which is yet another Yogurt, or Yowert, however it was said, AUR helper. Total installed size 2.6 gigs. Call it 2.7 gigs. So it's unwrapping a lot of stuff. So like I said, a lot of it's going to depend on your internet speed connection as well as your machine. This is not a dog machine, but it's not near as good as it could be. It's a i3 processor, 2-core, 16 gigabytes of RAM. Checking the package integrity before it installs it. Default cursors. Yeah, you could make a list of all of this right here and go down the list and find everything in here that you may not want or may want. Make sure you get on in your notes somewhere. Like the XDG user drivers. A lot of people not going to know to install that on a vanilla Arch install. EOS, it's a update, EndeavourOS update. No dependency mode, that's the Wi-Fi, I believe. Broadcom. DKMS modules. Yep, getting a lot of stuff. 20 of 24, we're almost there. 39%. Proceed with the installation, yes. Retrieving some more packages. I don't know if this is a new feature or not, and maybe you may not even can see it, but down at the bottom below what I call the taskbar, let's see if I can make it move. Yep. There's a little gap right there, and I don't know if that's by design or what. I don't like it, so I'm going to leave the video cam right there. The clock's right on this system too, so it updated the time when it was booting up, I'm sure. 79%. We want to see it deleting some stuff, and it'll be getting ready to be finished. When this is complete, I'm going to shut off all the stuff that's running and save it. Okay, so for instance, I'm going to have to bring up these terminals. I'm not going to restart now. I'm just going to say done. And one at a time. I don't know which one that is. Alright, so I think this is the webcam. I'm going to have to just shut them down and put in a drive and save it. In fact, I can plug in the drive right now so that you can see it actually mounting. It's going to ask me what to do. I'm going to say mount and open. And let's go. Can I go right click, create a new folder? Yep. EOS install. Put a 1 in front of that. Alright. So I'm going to do that. I'm going to close out all this stuff and save it to that folder I just created, and I'll be back. Okay, so I just booted in EndeavourOS. We just went through the install, and I booted up. I didn't have to reconnect the Wi-Fi. It remembered my connection. And I did do a few things here that will pop up on your, the welcome screen will pop up on your desktop until you tell it not to show me that anymore. But I updated the mirrors, etc. I updated the system. I even downloaded some more wallpapers, which you'll see here. There's actually a couple categories. But I'll cover more of that later. EOS classic wallpapers. Let me cancel out of that. We'll cover a lot of that later. So for right now, I just wanted to show you real quick what you get in your menu, or what you're going to get as a vanilla EndeavourOS install. Settings Manager, a terminal, Thunar File Manager, Bluetooth, Parole Media Player, Firefox, a firewall, quick installer, welcome screen, reflector comes in by default. Let's see, under accessories, file roller, screenshot, task manager, development, icon browser, and meld. Graphics, only going to get one photo viewer or image viewer. Internet, we do have Firefox and the Avahi servers. Multimedia, now I installed Voco Screen here just to make it a lot easier and faster than running the FFMPEG and all that. So I didn't figure it would take much room to go ahead and install Voco Screen and use it. Under settings here, you got everything that will be in your settings panel. Under system, eos-update, and that's about it. In the taskbar, you got a power off button, clock, a notification, volume. I put the network plug-in there. I was hoping that didn't mess nobody up. And we got Wi-Fi and workspaces. Here we got glances. Bring that up. Memory. We're using 1.5 gigs of this is a terminal, this is Firefox, and your web. And I would suggest that you cover this, and I'll cover this more here in the next video. I just needed a way to end the video. So this is, peace out, guys. Catch me on part 2. Bye.